What's up, guys? I hope you are having a good day. I actually had a really good weekend. I was on a short vacation in the Netherlands. I was going there with a couple of friends to visit another friend who lives there in Netherlands to spend the weekend in his house and, of course, at the beach. It was pretty cool. And I'm really sorry that I'm that late for my new video. But as I mentioned in my last video, I was I went to the Tekken World Tour event, to the tournament in Barcelona, and I did quite well there. I ended up third in my pool, so I drowned in pools, but at least I finished in the top 24 again, the same as in Rome. But yeah, I think I'm going to I have to practice a little bit more and have to build up more knowledge against certain characters. I lost actually to to Tishimon, who was my second match. And the like I don't know the last match, the losers finals of the pool, I lost against Karlak, who actually got like I don't know, he was in the top 8 and maybe also like top 6 or top 4, I don't know, but he is a really strong player from France, and he used actually Katarina against me, which is one of his sub characters, I guess, but I think his main character is Lily. Yeah, I did quite well against Tishimon, but against Karlak I had like no chance. I rarely play any Katarina players, and Karlak is like really strong, and yeah, I couldn't stand a chance against him. So yeah, that was my weekend in Barcelona, and the weekend after that I had visit from my old friend from my hometown. He stayed here for the weekend, so I also didn't have time to do another video. But yeah, and this weekend, yeah, as I already said, I was in the Netherlands. But anyway, I'm trying to do a quick video about Eddy's yeah, small frame traps, or few traps, and his poking game. And I hope this is not going to be another 15 minutes video, because they are too long, and I try to keep it down a bit. But anyway, let's just start. Yeah, Eddy's pokes are quite simple. I mean, most of the characters have just this like one jab poke, and I think the most ones are like really good on hit. Like if it's only the one jab, I think if you hit the both, it's just like +1, but only one jab on hit is like +6 or even +8, I don't know. So if you get hit by one jab and you try to do anything and they do another jab and another jab, you will get into a loop, so you won't get like, yeah, it's never your turn if you try to attack while getting hit by a single jab. So yeah, eventually you try to, or you start ducking or just block, but you know, many players just try to interrupt you, and if they try to, you can fish for down forward 2 and for a counter hit, of course. And I mean, since you're like +6 or +8 on hit after a jab, there's a really good chance that you will get the counter hit if they try to mash, or even if they just try to duck, you know, you get the normal hit, and you have to be ready to get the like guaranteed follow up with the quarter circle forward 3 to get a bit more damage done. And yeah, on block, I think it's also plus, so it is a pretty good move. So you always can go for like a single jab into either down forward 2, which you should also always consider to input or to implement it in your match, to fish for counter hits, or a single jab into down forward 4. So you you know, you mix it up a little bit. Like this is your opener, your how can I say it, your pressure game with the one jab, and after that you go either for the mid or the low, which if you would get a counter hit on any of these, of course, you will counter hit down forward 2, you will get a full combo. On counter hit down forward 4, you will at least get the guaranteed follow-up like this with the up 3. And it's pretty good damage, so both options are quite good. And yeah, the one jab. Another good poke, in my opinion, is down forward 1-1, which is also pretty good on hit. I don't know the exact frames, but I mean, you can still look it up. You're definitely plus on hit, so of course after that you can go also like on the jab series, you can go for another down forward 1-1, or if you are sure that your opponent is going to try to do something, you can still go for the down forward 2 counter hit follow up. So if your opponent does like a move that's minus 13 on block, and you block it and punish successfully with down forward 1-1, I would recommend to fish for the counter hit with down forward 2. And of course, Eddy has his back 3 forward, which is also a 13 frame punisher, but and it also does more damage, but I don't think that this gives you any type of frame advantage, at least not that much. So if you want to go for, counter hit, then do a down forward 1-1 punish into down forward 2 to fish for the counter hit. And I think there you can do like almost the same as like a single one jab, like after the down forward 1-1 to go for the down forward 4. But I mean, it's a bit, it's you want to get the most out of it, so you usually go for the down forward 2 to get a full combo. But as always, you can play as you like. The next thing we have is, of course, the down forward 2 in general. It's not that as good as in the previous games. The range was shortened a bit, but it's still quite good. Like, from this range, it's hitting already. So, and yeah, of course, it's a counter hit launcher, but you have to remember that it is minus 10. So it is punishable, jab punishable, but not, I think only like maybe Jack or Gigas can actually punish it, because on block it has a certain, it has a quite good pushback. So for like characters like Heihachi or on max range, it is like almost impossible to jab punish it. So it's quite safe, but remember to, after it gets blocked, just try to backdash out of it and fish for another one after your opponent maybe whiffs something, but not try to do a few down forward 2s in a row, because it on paper it isn't smart. But if you know that your opponent is going to take their time to do a move that takes longer than 10 frames to get the pressure game on, you can try to go, of course, for another down forward 2, but it is risky. And the next move is his back one, of course. It is historically from Tekken Tag 2, it was his best move, because it gave you the full counter hit juggle. But now it isn't the case anymore. Now you on counter hit, you only get free back 1-4 into not 50-50, but into a mix-up situation. If you get the counter hit only on normal hit, it is not a combo. It's not a natural hit. So of course, what you want to do is to fish for maybe a hit, because it's just a safe move, and on hit again fish for a down forward 2 since you're a plus. Of course, you can always go for the back 1-4 into the mix-up situation and keep on going with the counter hit, not counter hit, with the pressure game, with the poking game. I would recommend to always exit the back 1-4 with the relax 2. It is the safest option, but if you want to, of course, mix your opponent a bit more up, you can always go for all the other options for every other mid or low, which would give you frame advantage. For example, his back three, which is a really good move, and it gives you almost like free relax mix up on hit. So you should try to consider it to mix it up with a safe handstand 2. Yeah, that's it for the back one. The next poking move, in my opinion, which is really good, is this 1+2. It is high, and it has quite short range. So most of the time it will happen like this, that either the first or the second hit will whiff. The second one tracks at least to, I don't know to which side, but it tracks pretty good. So it is even good on whiff. It has a really good recovery. So yeah, feel free to just, oh, not this one, to throw a 1+2 out. And it is actually like 0 to -1 on block. So it's almost like a frame trap. I mean, you don't have frame advantage, but you are almost at the same frame. So I usually also go for 1+2 on block into a down forward 2. I mean, I'm like, if they do a jab, they would interrupt me, but most of the time they'll be like, okay, I blocked the move, so I usually have a bit of a time to, maybe just do a down forward 1 or something to keep the pressure or to take my turn, but I always follow up with the down forward 2 and catch them off guard and get the counter hit. So that works quite often. You should definitely not overdo it with the fishing after that move, but of course once or twice in a whole set it is quite a high possibility that you're going to land the down forward to on counter hit. So another great poke, in my opinion, is his sidestep 4, which is the double low. If both hits hit, it gives you frame advantage. For, of course, if they press anything, you will get definitely down forward to counter hit. And as you can see, like after every poke, it's always going to be like, okay, you do one poke and try to fish for the down forward to counter it, because it's just like Eddy's best counter hit option for a combo starter. I mean, all the other launches are like rather more risky, because you have like moves like his quarter circle forward 3 or wild standing 3 is the same move. That is -12 to -13, so it gets quite heavily punished. Like I don't know, against Paul or Fang, you would get a shoulder as a punish, and many other characters can punish it like quite hard. So you always want to go for a safer option like his down forward 2, and all his other not counter hit starters, but all of his other normal hit starters like down forward 3+4 is launch punishable. I don't know, relax low launcher and mid launcher are both float or launch punishable. So I think down forward 2 is one of his best options. I mean, of course, he has his homing move, standing 3, which is also a counter hit starter, but it's a high. So if they sidestep and duck, it's like you have no possibility to catch them sidestepping, except of, if they duck, of course, they will also like block the low, which is also almost like a homing move. It's faster, but as I said, if they sidestep and duck, they will also block that. So it is quite hard. So you have to move much around to create space and to bring your whiff punishes on your opponent. So as I was saying, for his sidestep 4, even on block, if like the first hit whiffs but the second one gets blocked, even then you are on plus frames. But if only the first hit is going to be blocked by your opponent, and the second one whiffs, you are on minus frames, so they could punish you. But if they block both hits, it is often the case that you create a quite good amount of distance, so that if they block both hits and you do one backdash, all of their attempts to punish you are going to whiff. So you have to be aware if they block like only the second hit or both hits, that you do one backdash to put a bit of distance, to get a bit of distance, and to launch them maybe with the whiff punish of down forward 3+4. And yeah, you can also, like always, as I said, on hit fish for the counter down forward 2. And yeah, that's it for sidestep 4. His other good poking move, in my opinion, is his sidestep 2, which is a bit slower, but it has quite a good of a range. It's an elbow, so like characters like Asuka or other characters who have like punch parries won't parry it or can't parry it, and it's also a safe counter hit combo starter for big damage. And it is plus, or it's like 0 or +1 on block, and it leaves the opponent crouching, so they're only able to do while standing moves, or try to block your pressure. After that, I always try to go for a safe mid, like a down forward 1, to keep the pressure on. Of course, if they do like a down jab, they will beat your down forward 1, because you are like on maybe 0 frames or +1. So you have a 13 frame move, which will come out like at the 12th frame, because you're on +1. And but if they do the crouching jab, they're going to be faster than the 12 frames. So yeah, your pressure could be gone, but yeah, you're always like in advantage. You could just go for sidestep 2 and block, and just create spacing again and try to whiff punish your opponent if they do something. So the most important part with Eddy's pokes is that you always have to keep in mind that your opponent wants to get their turn back, and you have to be very good with your reactions to at least whiff punish it with, I don't know, like a standing 4 is a good move. It's a 12 frame, like quite long range mid, which is safe. And if you're sharp enough, of course, you will, like for example, after a blocked sidestep 4, you will get the down for 3+4 on hit. If you are sharp with your reactions and you see that your opponent whiffs a move, so you always have to like train that. The last two moves are, in my opinion, also poking moves, because they're unseeable lows, like his down forward 4 and his down back 2, but they aren't they aren't there for creating a pressure game, because on down forward 4 you are actually on -1, so it's not recommended to do an attack after it, like down forward 4 into a jab wouldn't be that good of an idea, because you are on minus, and if your opponent just does a normal jab, or even like a 12 frame move or an 11 frame counter hit launcher, like I don't know, loss standing 4 or something, you will eventually get trade and get counter hit launched. So it's not worth it. So since both of the moves are like quite good range lows, you can just always try to bring them, do them, try to hit them, and then create space with Eddy's backdash. And with his down forward, down back two, it's even worse, I think, because Eddy recovers crouching after that. So you are definitely not in frame advantage. It's just maybe for a round ender or even game ender. It has a really good range, and of course, it crushes highs, not like his down forward four. And yeah, also like his down four is also a good round ender, but you have to be quite close to hit it. So from yeah, like this range it will hit. From this range it will whiff, but down back two will hit even from far away. So yeah, and it also does more damage than a down four. Yeah, so be careful after you're hitting these moves to don't press anything. And yeah, I think that's it for my poking and yeah, frame trap video. It's not as easy like it's not as easy as for characters like Dragunov or I don't know, maybe Mishimas that have moves on block that have plus frames or bring them into a favorable position. Eddy always has to work to fish for counter hits down forward twos, and he only shines after hitting like sidestep 4 or a down forward 1-1 to, you know, keep on the pressure. If you are sure that your opponent won't attack after sidestep 4 because he's aware of the situation and doesn't want to get counter hit by your down forward 2, you can go for, you know, a mix up like his up forward 3, because his up forward 3 is just a natural mix up situation. You can't visually see if you are going for the low or the mid, so they have to guess. It's a true 50-50, and yeah, that's just one of the options you have. And yeah, I hope you learned something from this video. And I know it's most of the things I listed here are just basics. It's basic stuff, but to know your frame advantages after you hit a move like back one, a down forward 1-1, or even on block like this 1+2, it is really good to know such things. And yeah, I hope you learned one thing or two. And the only thing that I can recommend you is to practice your movement. It's the most important thing for Eddy. And there was one question in the comment, I guess, how to do his backdash properly. And I don't think there's a right way, but there are like two common ways, which are like the two normal ways of doing Korean backdash. The way I do it is just the Korean backdash kind of thing, that is the back, down back into back, and repeat this for like infinity, as you can see in the what is it, not command list, but in the history of my buttons, what I pressed. So there's this way, and there's also like the reverse wave dashing thing, where you can go to back, quarter circle, not quarter circle, quarter circle back, back. It's just like a wave dash, but it's reversed to get the backdash. As you can see, I'm not really comfortable doing that. I rather go for this option because I trained this option more, and I would recommend to learn both, maybe both things, or no, I would recommend to learn this version, because if you want to switch characters like to Paul or some characters who have a sway back, and you try to backdash like this, you know, with a reversed wave dash notation, you will get a sway back. Like for if you try to play Brian or Nina or Paul, you will get the sway back, and this is not a safe movement. So we always try to go for this kind of movement, and you will backdash safe with also with these kind of characters. But of course, as you like, you can try out stuff and go also for the reverse wave dash notation, especially if you're playing a Mishima. And yeah, because you have to implement the wave dash in your normal game, and just reverse it to get a proper backdash is just as simple as, you already trained that by training the wave dash. So yeah, that's it for me, I guess. Maybe I forgot a question. I hope not. I think I only received the question regarding the movement, but I'm going to have. Oh yeah, there was one question regarding his counter hit back 3-3 combo, like this part, the forward 3+4. This guy asked why it whiffs sometimes, the relax forward 3+4. I actually don't know. Maybe it's the timing. I mean, I can land it every time. For me, it doesn't whiff at any time. So I think you have just get used to the timing after the backflip into the low to do it like immediately. As soon as you land, you can go for the forward 3+4, because after he lands, he is able to do, he recovers really fast. So yeah, if you go for that combo, you can just, mash it out and get the full combo. Yeah, I think that's finally it for my video. Hope you enjoyed it, and again, sorry guys that I took a long time. It took me a long time to do this video, and I hope you are not that angry with me. And I try to keep on this tutorial series. Of course, you can always ask me in the comments down below any questions you have regarding Eddy, or even like character-specific matchups. What to do against, for example, Nina or Paul or anything. Yeah, that's it from my side, and I hope you're having a really nice day, and I see you guys next time.